Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Member365 webinar online store from setup to sales success. My name is Carlo McDangle. I'm a customer success coach here in Member365. I will be your host for this afternoon's webinar. I believe in the maxim, your success is our success. And these webinars, particularly, they are designed to help you utilize the various features of your program to help you manage your membership. And one of them is your online store. Okay. Online store is a module which will help you generate funds for your membership. Okay. So let's dive in on our agenda, what's in store for this afternoon. So webinar, but before we go to the agenda, a little bit of housekeeping items. Everyone during the webinar will be muted. However, if you have any questions, please write them down at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There's a Q&A little button in there. I hope you find it. It's just there below, probably the middle section of your Zoom screen. Click on it and jot down any question that you may have. And at the end of this webinar, we'll be entertaining your questions. Everyone in attendance in this webinar will be sent a copy of this webinar, the recording, and it will be posted as well on our knowledge base section, our video section, and our YouTube channel. That way, like in the future, any given time that you want to set up your store, you want to go back to this webinar and check again the features, the setups, and the tips that we will be sharing you that will help you set up your store module. Okay. Our agenda, we'll be discussing store settings configuration, how to create a store product, of course, and how do we access the store product page that will list all your store items? And how do you access the store report page so you can see how much you've sold on store items? And how do you view the store in the member portal? How does it look like? Okay. And then we will be discussing as well how non-members can see your store in the member portal, especially if the items that you're selling them to both members and non-members. And of course, we'll be discussing best practices that we need to observe when setting up your store items. And last but not least, if you have any questions. Okay. Okay, so let's dive in to the program. Okay. So the store is located under modules and then store. If you don't have access to your store module, it might be that your type of admin roles do not permit you to do so. If that's the case, if you don't see it, please check with your fellow admins. They will need to go to your permission page, go to the administration section, and they will need to go to your profile page, assuming that this is your profile page. They will need to go to permissions and then scroll down all the way at the bottom to look for store. Okay, here it is. So they just need to make sure these are checked off. Okay. Once they do that, they click save. And there you go. Make a refresh your page and you will be able to see the store module. Okay. Let's dive ahead on the store module. Okay. By going to modules, store, and then settings first. Okay. How to set up your store before we create a product. And it'll bring us to this page. Okay. There's quite a bit of setup here. Okay. Let's discuss them quickly one by one. The first one, categories. Okay. Click on manage. Let's open another tab. That way we don't lose that page. So you can create different types of store product categories. Very useful when you want to categorize or organize your store items as to if they're under the artwork genre, clothing and apparel, drawing, fundraiser. So you can create as many categories as you want. It will make the lives of your contacts easier when browsing through products. One of the best practices. It's keeping these categories clear. Okay. Again, this makes it easier for members to browse items. Okay. So that's the creation of store category. Okay. So let's go to the second item, email templates. Okay. The system will send emails to your purchasers. Okay. And you can update these respective email notifications. Okay. So as an example, the first one, okay, click on the title, and then this is where you can update the messaging. Except for the smart tags, you can leave them as is because they pull information from the profile of your contact, like their first name. Okay. And more merge tag can be found under this tags icon. You can browse some tags which you can use as well. Okay. Click on the save button and click the save button on the main page to commit your changes. Okay. Financial management. Okay. Okay, this is where you tell the system what modes of payment are you accepting. Will you be accepting check, credit card, or cash? Okay, very straightforward, right? Inventory management. Okay. Now, do you want to set an inventory count for your products, especially if you're setting up a product and then you're putting a cap as to how many quantities that you need to sell? This needs to be enabled. Okay. On-screen messages. Okay. So these are messages that pop up on the screen of your contacts that purchase products, and you can update those accordingly. Just click on them, and then you can update the message. Okay. Store management setup section. Okay. This is where you tell the system, again, the enable inventory count appears again in here, this toggle. And if a new non-member contact, create portal account. If you're selling this store item to non-member contacts, especially if you display your store in your public website, right? And you can do that, and we'll show you later on how you can do exactly that to make your store public in your public site or display in your public site. But when they visit your site and a non-member, meaning a new person, purchase a store item, if this is enabled, the system will send them their access to your member portal, okay, as a non-member. So they can see their purchases, okay, and they can see their invoices if this is enabled, okay. But there's an extra step, okay, especially if you're selling your item to both members and non-members, okay. You will need to go to modules, member portal, and then settings. And then scroll down the page. We have what we call member portal permissions for non-members. Hover your cursor on the three dots and click manage. This is where you tell the system non-members can log into the member portal. Click yes. And then make sure, okay, on this section, show store, this should be enabled. This way, when they log into the member portal, those non-members, okay, those without membership, and you're selling a product that's sold to or to be sold to both members and non-members, non-members can see the store item. Okay. So that's one thing to consider. Okay. Okay. Do you want to be notified when you sell a store item? So you just have to enter your email address and an email address of a fellow admin separated by comma. And then you will be alerted when a store item is bought. Okay. Default image for store items, you can put a default image. Okay. Because later on, when we set up a store item, you will be given opportunity to put an image of the product on that setup. But if you don't put an image, then whatever default image that you put in here, that's the image or thumbnail that will be displayed. Okay, then automatically the system will pick up your particular payment gateway. Okay. Okay, so next one will be shipping tiers. Okay. Okay. If you want to charge for shipping, you can create shipping costs or tiers, right? Like in this case, we've created an increment of items costing $0 to $1,000. I'm charging $4.99 for shipping. any amount of product sold between $1,001 to $10,000, I'm charging $19.99 and so forth. And okay, so you can actually create different shipping costs or tiers. And then you can even tell the system if you want to impose any taxes on shipping cost. Okay, that's the shipping. Okay, now donation management. Okay. For those some of you are probably aware that we have a fundraising module. You can attach a fundraising campaign to a store purchase. Okay. That way, when someone purchase an item in the store, they will be asked to donate under that fundraising as well. Okay. You'll just have to enable this. Okay. Website integration. So this is the code that you will need to copy and share it with your webmaster to create a distinct page on your website to display the store, your online store. Okay. So very useful. Say you don't need them to go to your member portal. It will always be there available on your public site. Okay. But if you want it limited just on your member portal, then you can skip this stuff. Okay, so that's the store configuration. Now let's go to the creation of a store product. Okay, we go to modules, store, and then create product. There you go. All we have to do is enter the product name, enter the description of it. Okay. And we will need to choose a category. Remember, category, we created a different category, assuming that this is more of like say a publication. Okay. And we need to select the product type. Is it a standard product, a course, a file that they need to download, or donation campaign? Okay. And then the fee structure, is it flat fee? Meaning all membership categories will be charged the same fee. Okay. Or is it based on membership category? You can tell the system specific membership categories may have their respective pricing with regards to that product. Okay. So we recommend putting separate prices for members. And if you're allowing non-members to purchase it, different price point. This will encourage non-members to actually enroll to your membership so they can get deals on products. Okay. That's one of the best practices. If you have differentiation in terms of product item pricing for members and non-members, okay. Of course, non-members, you will peg the price to be a little higher than the member price. That way they will be enticed or encouraged to enroll to your membership before purchasing. Okay. And then quantity. Okay, we've enabled inventory a while ago, assuming that for this item, you can only sell 10 or just click on the limit. And then are you charging any taxes for the purchase of these items? This is where you tell the system, are you charging for shipping? Okay. Shipping blocklisted countries, are you shipping on specific countries, or you can tell the system which countries you do not want to ship. You'll just have to check off these countries accordingly and click confirm. Okay. And populate this item on an ad hoc invoice. For those of you who dive into a financial module, you can create a manual invoice. Okay. If this is on, if you create a manual invoice, the system will automatically pull this product on. So it's for ease of use, and especially if you expect to manually bill contacts for this product, then you go to the financial module and the system will automatically pull this. More details for creating manual invoice will be discussed on our financial training. Okay. Show product in public store and show product in member portals. This is an option where you can either hide it from the member portal, just limit it on a public store, or vice versa. Okay. And this is where you upload a photo of the item. Okay, just remember, okay, the product images to maintain a uniform look and feel. One of the best practices is put them on perfect squares. Recommended sizes or dimension is 535 pixels wide and equally 535 pixels tall. Okay. And click add product. Okay. And once you've added the product, it will show up under the manage products page. All your products will be displayed in here. A summary will be given to you on the header, the product name, their category, how much you sold them in member price versus non-member price. And on the options, you can delete them. Okay, just bear in mind, if you delete the product, it will delete the report as well. Okay, but you can hide them as well. Okay, so instead of deleting them, you'll just go to the setup tab and just hide them from your store. That way you keep the reports. Okay, so this is the area where you can hide them from the member portal, or once they're hidden, you can make them visible by clicking on this icon as well. Okay, so that's the store creation. Okay, now how does it look like on the member portal? So we go to your member portal. Let's go to the separate tab, to your member portal, and then we go to your store on the header, okay, or store header, and this is how it looks like, okay? And the categories, they can search by categories, okay? We impress the importance of creating categories for ease of browsing, okay? And you'll just have to click on an item, okay? And then click add to cart, and it'll bring them to the payment page, and they will decide if they'll be paying in check or in credit card. But just remember, one of the best practices, if you're accepting check or electronic bank transfer, okay, mainly because you're monitoring them, the check once it comes, right? One way or one of the best practices is to create a dunning reminder, okay? Dunning reminders actually is found in the financial and then settings. It's in here, this icon, click Dunning Reminders. What this does is that the system will send emails to your contacts who have purchased either a store item or membership or event tickets that they have yet to pay, okay? And they are basically being reminded to settle that unpaid invoice. So you can create reminders like, say, 3 days after the invoice date. Okay, like in this case of what we did, we've created multiple reminders. And once they pay that specific invoice, that store item invoice, then the reminders will stop. Okay, and you can update the wordings of this message, this reminder. Okay, so we've created 5 days, 10 days, 30 days, 45, 60, 150 days, and you can add more. Okay. So that's one of the best practices. Okay. Okay. So once someone buys from your store, how do you view the reports? Okay. So let's go to the reports. We go to modules, store, and then reports. And then let's start with order pending processing. This page is more for the fulfillment of your store items. Fulfillment means you will need to ship them. Okay. You can see the process button in here. The green ones represents those that have paid their item. Those that on white, meaning that they have yet to pay. Okay. So it's your prerogative if you want to process them. Processing means just checking them off that they've been fulfilled, meaning you've already shipped. Does not mean that you process, you're processing their payment. No. Like in this case, they already paid for it, right? Okay. Now you might be asking, how do we process their payment or mark them as paid? You'll just have to go to their profile. Okay, click on their profile and then go to purchase history. Okay. And look for that invoice, right? You just have to sort on the status of pending payment and open that particular invoice. And once you receive that check or cash payment, okay, just click process payment and click either check or cash or credit card offline. That way you can mark it as paid. Once you mark it as paid, it will be shown as mark as paid in here with a green process button. How do you fulfill it? How do you process it? That way it will be shown as it's already fulfilled, it's already shipped. So just basically click on the process button and click the process button again a second time and confirm it. And there you go. So that means this item, okay, was already fulfilled and it will be deducted or removed from this page. Okay, so that's how you fulfill products that are bought from your store. Okay, then let's go back to the other report, order history. It gives you a history of all items that were sold. Okay, you can view the receipts in here as well. Okay, or you can click on the name, they'll bring you to their profile page. Okay, but you might be asking, how can I print all of this in one shot? You can do that by going to modules, store, reports, and this time go to the third report, sales report. And there you go. So you can filter by dates accordingly. It will show you the products, okay? Number of units sold, okay? And you can filter by categories, and then you can export these to Excel, okay? Okay, so we've discussed the store settings, configuration, how to create a store product, okay? To access the store product page, the report page, and how it looks like on the member portal, and basically how to do the reports, okay? Now, what are the best practices that we need to think about? Okay, so let's go back to our slides. Best practices. Number one, if you're accepting check or electronic fund transfer payments, again, add a Dunning reminder to help you remind contacts that chose check or EFT payments to pay their respective store items that they bought. That way you can fulfill them. Okay. The second one, product image to make it more uniform, square, perfect square, okay? 535 pixels wide and 535 pixels tall. Okay. Third, keep your categories clear, organize your products into logical categories, like example, publications, sponsorships, and training materials, and it'll make it easier for members to browse according to categories. The fourth best practice is provide different pricing for members and non-members. That way you can encourage non-members to actually enroll for membership, for your various membership. And last but not least, is very vital, test it, okay? Test the online store, buy an item, and see how it looks like on the fulfillment side. Okay, that way you will get the feel on the whole process in buying a store item. Okay. Okay, it's time for any questions that you may have. We have a question. Shipping is based on zip code, not on volume of purchase. I am not sure the shipping based on total purchase will work well. And currently on the features of the program in terms of shipping, it is based on the amount of the item. Pretty soon, we'll be making some improvements on the store setup and feature that will include probably location, right? Or any other factors that may determine the price points of shipping tiers. Okay, that's a good question. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, if you don't have any other question, but if you feel that you may have some lingering thoughts after this webinar, okay, you can send us your questions on your dashboard. You have us on tickets, you can create a ticket, okay? Or you can engage us with us on live chat or book a Zoom call if your subscription permits it, okay? Or you can use our M365 assistant located on the upper right section of your screen. It's an AI-based tool that will help you on your questions. But if your questions were not addressed properly by our AI tool, mainly because it's still on its infancy stage. We just rolled it out 2 months ago. It's still learning. It will escalate your question to a ticket and it will be sent to our customer success team. And then within 24 to 48 hours, we will be attending to any of the question that you may have. Again, we thank you so much for watching this webinar. And we suggest that you check our website. Below the website, we have a webinar section where you can browse future webinars and you can register accordingly. So see you on our next webinar and have yourself a great